As you've heard, the British war veteran and fundraiser Captain Sir Thomas More has died in London at the age of 100. Fantastic innings. He's died from coronavirus. The World War II vet captured international attention after raising millions of pounds for frontline health workers during the pandemic.
Captain Sir Tom was admitted to Bedford Hospital with coronavirus at the end of January when he required help with his breathing. He'd been receiving treatment for pneumonia before that, which meant he hadn't been vaccinated against COVID-19.
Captain Sir Tom More was a hero in the truest sense of the word. In the dark days of the Second World War, he fought for freedom, and in the face of this country's deepest post-war crisis, he united us all. He cheered us all up, and he embodied the triumph of the human spirit.
Even in the darkest of times, Captain Tom saw light.
The sun will shine and will never walk alone. And truly, I believe that to be true.
A message we'd all do well to remember.
Yeah, what a great bloke. Let's cross to London now, catch up with our great mate, Brendan O'Neill, the editor of Spiked Online. Brendan, good to talk to you again. Thomas More was an inspiration, really. Talk about that stiff upper lip and keep calm and carry on. Had a great innings, but he was a bloke who was positive and energetic during the pandemic. I get the sense that you're worried at the moment with the pessimism right across the UK.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think Tom More was a very inspirational man. He kind of really straddled the two great crises of modern Britain, the Second World War and the COVID crisis, which is very, very serious and getting worse and worse, sadly. I think the great thing about Tom More is that, you know, he really shatters all the prejudices of the modern age. You know, all we hear about these days is how terrible old white men are. You know, the worst thing you can be is male, pale and stale. And we don't care about old people's wisdom. We don't care about traditions. We don't care about things that they did in the past. And then along came Tom More last year, completely laid to waste all those woke prejudices and demonstrated that actually older generations have a huge amount to contribute to society in terms of wisdom, in terms of action, in terms of charity. So I really admire Tom More for that. But you're right. The other thing about Tom More is that he was optimistic. His line was, "Tomorrow will be a good day." And I'm worried that that message that he pushed is being lost because there is a great amount of pessimism in Britain at the moment because of the COVID crisis.
Yeah, brilliantly said about him and the lessons that he shared. Why is there so much pessimism in the UK at the moment? We understand the damage the virus is causing, the number of infections and death rates, and of course you're still in the depths of winter, but the vaccine rollout is going very rapidly, isn't it? Shouldn't this be the great hope for the UK?
Yeah, the vaccine rollout is going brilliantly. If you compare us with the rest of Europe, we are doing fantastically well. More than 9 million people in the UK have been vaccinated so far. On Saturday, almost 1% of the entire population was vaccinated on one day. I mean, these are extraordinary figures, and credit to Boris Johnson's government for being able to organise this. But I think there are two issues here in relation to the pessimism. Firstly, there is the virus itself, which has had a big impact on this country. It has had a bigger impact on Britain than it has on many other countries. But then also there's the cultural atmosphere. There's the culture of fear. There's the culture of doom mongering. There is this general sense now that maybe we'll never get out of COVID-19 or you know, the return of the virus again and again. Maybe this is the new normal. Maybe social distancing and occasional lockdowns is what we have to look forward to in the future. I think that really speaks to a cultural pessimism, a culture of fear, and a lack of appetite for getting our freedoms back. So that I'm worried about two things. Firstly, the virus itself, but secondly, the unwillingness of society to say, listen, freedom is important and we need an actual date for when it's going to be returned to us.
Tell me, how do you deal with living through this in the UK, all of those manifest problems, real problems, and this gloom and pessimism, and then you are reading and hearing about the sunny state of Western Australia at the height of summer, locking down 2 million people over one infection?
Yeah, I think people here are utterly bamboozled by what's been happening in Perth. We just can't make sense of it. You know, we have thousands of cases every single day. We have a huge number of deaths still. So we're in an incredibly different situation. And what some of us are asking, not enough in my view, but what some of us are asking is, when is lockdown going to end? When are we going to be able to recover economic life, recover social life, and recover the freedoms that have been taken away from us? Lockdown is not something that should be entered into lightly, because lockdown hurts people too. Lockdown hurts the economy. In Britain, it's caused at least 2 million people to lose their jobs. And it also has an impact on health, because other health problems aside from COVID-19 get pushed aside. So there's a lack of cancer diagnoses in the UK, a lack of treatment for heart problems and so on. So lockdowns can be bad for people as well, and they should not be entered into lightly by any government around the world.
Brendan, thanks for talking to us again. Stay positive, mate.
Thanks, Chris.
Brendan O'Neill there, experiencing a tough winter in the UK.